Time to order up another heaping helping of governmental pork, served with a side dish of arrogance and always prepared piping hot for the American taxpayer to be bamboozled by governmental wonks and weebles who hope you never catch on to the dodge. And this time it's all about housing and mortgage insurance. All right, belly up to the pork bar. Let's welcome back the Vice President for Policy and Communications at Citizens Against Government Waste, Leslie Paige. Leslie, good to see you again. Good Friday.
Happy Friday, Ed.
All right, here we go. Weebles, exactly. Weebles and wonks.
Weebles.
You have to think about it. Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. See, it's just there you go. That works. I know that'll
now
show
you're
up
dating
next.
yourself, Ed.
I know that's okay,
Yeah.
but I'm allowed to do that. Here we go. You have named HUD Secretary Julian Castro the February Porker of the Month. Tell us about it.
Well, you got to be a little bit sympathetic and feel a little empathy for poor Secretary Castro. He is new to the job, and he is sort of thrown out into the lion's den, and he comes ill-prepared, shall we say, and puts on an absolutely awful performance in front of the House Financial Services Committee. He just, you can't tell for certain when you're watching these hearings whether people really don't know what they're talking about or if they are deliberately obfuscating. And either way, it's bad for taxpayers. So Secretary Castro is the new Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, and under his purview he has the Federal Housing Administration, which is financially in trouble. This is the big, huge $1 trillion mortgage insurance fund that the federal government runs through HUD. And poor Secretary Castro comes before the House Financial Services Committee and he just looks like a deer in the headlight. Can't answer basic questions about what's the value of your loan portfolio, Secretary Castro? I'll have to get back to you on that. How many of your loans are in default or in delinquency? Geez, I just don't know. I'll have to get back to you on that. I mean, it was a really terrible performance.
You sure perhaps, just out of curiosity's sake,
him,
maybe he wasn't, Lois Lerner wasn't sitting there as well, basically coaching him on, perhaps?
Well,
just guessing.
Incidentally, Ed, I will say, and maybe on another segment we'll discuss this new tactic, because it is in fact showing up in almost all of the testimony I watch. I see a lot of this going on. People simply stonewall. They simply will not answer a question. They show up, but they'll sit there and tell the members of the committee that they don't have the information. They'll have to get back to them later with in writing, which means, of course, that it won't get picked up on the clips, but later on in a letter that no one will see, they'll get back to them with the salient information. However, back to the point. Poor Castro was really out of his depth. So he didn't do himself any favors. On the other hand, FHA is in really big financial trouble. They took a $1.7 billion bailout in 2013, and they're very thinly capitalized. And the entire hearing was predicated on a move at the end of January that the Secretary made to lower the premiums for FHA loans by 50 basis points, which is half a percentage point for the rest of us out here in the real world. And basically what that means is less money coming into the FHA, which is exactly the opposite direction that they should be going. They should be wanting more money to be coming into the FHA to increase their capital cushion, to give them some more stability. And instead, what they've done is they've lowered the premiums.
So now, with about a minute left, let's put this right into the consumer's pocket here, Leslie. I know, 60 seconds left here. You talked about higher delinquency rates, higher default rates, and the government still will remain in the mortgage business. How much money are we talking about wasting here? Billions? You mentioned $1.7 billion.
Many billions of dollars. Oh, absolutely. If it was $1.7 billion bailout, we could be heading for another bailout. I mean, if you think the GSEs, that's the Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, they were only implicitly guaranteed by the taxpayers. The FHA is explicitly 100% guaranteed by taxpayers, and they are financially struggling, and yet every move they make puts them in a more precarious financial position. It's a very, very dangerous situation.
The FHA, by the way, runs a $1 trillion mortgage insurance program that traditionally provided coverage for low and middle income first-time home buyers. Guess what, folks? Welcome aboard. The government, once again, is wasting a whole lot of your money. Gee, what a shock. I want to remind everybody that the website for the Wonks and Weebles, if you want to find them there, Leslie will tell you that's exactly where you need to, cagw.org. It is Citizens Against Government Waste. We feature them every Friday right here on Midpoint because, frankly, we want to let the American people know where your money is going every day. Leslie, thank you so much for being here. Have a great weekend. Outstanding. Take care. The conservative spring training as they get ready for the big game to come. What you may have missed from CPAC, we're about to ensure you have right in your frontal lobes from 4 potential presidential candidates. It's next on Midpoint.